All right, so we do have time to do the quick fix. We are by balance a little over time. But as I said before, we really didn't do much the day of the much club. So the first thing I want to do is go to my student list, component. You can see we actually we still do this if user is in local storage. I am actually going to do something along those lines. Remember, we're not just checking to see if the user when the login. We actually set this admin thing. And so why do we want to do with that? Well, the reason why we want to do that is we can now do some quick, excuse me, put it in the wrong place. Now we can do some quick things like if admin in session storage, we're going to set an admin field because it's going to make our life easier. Admin's going to be Boolean. And it should be by default false, right? We're going to set this dot admin to equal true if that is in session storage. We don't have to care if the value is thing, but if this value is in fact set, boom, admin is true. Yay! Not very exciting, but let's go to student list component.html and play around. All right, so we're going to add td ng if, oops, did it again, did I? Oopsie, did it again. Right, and so if admin admin, right? Nothing special, right? Nothing special. In fact, it totally works, right? Sort of. I do have to log in. I had actually closed it because I'm actually packing for my trip, but to New York. But here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and log in. Mike, and then I did that too quickly. I do not want to say the passwords. Here we go. So I should be an admin because I am logged in as Mike and not Ruth. So that didn't work the way we'd hoped to. I wonder if I screwed this up. Let's go ahead and do this. Right. Oh, this should be advisor. Yes. All right. I might have screwed up the whole. Let's screw up the whole thing here. Add student, go to, oops, I don't want to actually add a student. I want to go to edit. I want to go back to the list of students. Oh, wait, I think I did this wrong. Let me just see. Yeah. Yeah, no, should be right. All right, let's log out. And I'm gonna log in as Ruth. I think I have this right. You know what I'm gonna do actually? Login component. I'm going to go and I logged the user in the logout process. So I log the user. Darn it. So go log out again. Come on. So it's saying false. Why is it saying false? Admin should in fact be, come on. All right. Should be true. Let's go and see what's going on. So we have the user and we have the admin equals false. And student controller in a login process. Student control. Oh, I know why. I bet you I know why. We sing back we do the admin, but yeah, we return the cents instead of the real. That is why. Yes, there we go. Unfortunately, I will have to stop this guy. That took 2 seconds to fix. Unfortunately, I did have to fix it. So admin never got set correctly. We're always would have set it to whatever was sent, which would essentially return never being be the problem. So we do need it to be real. Go ahead and log out. And then Mike. And you can see admin is true. And now you can see advisor and you see Mike and Ruth. When I go to log out, I log out again and I go log in as Ruth. And now that advisor is no longer there, right? So you can just do whatever you want. Now I did it this way because it was just easier to do. You could have an additional check with the server whenever you feel like doing it. You can totally do that if you choose to, but just having an endpoint that does it. I also set it as a field rather than try to do this in the code. It's just so much easier to do this. So much easier to do this than try and set it in the code. So that's why I did it. We're going to do it in student detail as well. So we're just going to add another TR. And we're going to go TR, and then we're going to go to student list. Oops, got to go to student component first. Student detail component. And before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and set this. By default, it's false, right? As always. So we go back to our student detail component, and I copy 2 fields. There we go. And then we're going to do the ng if equals admin, and it won't show up if it's not an advisor. Right? By default, if you're not actually, oops, did we do something weird? Yeah, I need to log out again. So now I'm going to log in as Mike. And it keeps saying change your password because the password's too simple, and then it tries to save it. I don't really care. I don't want to save it, right? But now when I go to detail, we see the advisor for this guy, and if I logged in as Ruth, he wouldn't see it, right? All right. Let's go to do a couple things. One, we're going to go ahead and do something funky. And you're like, wait, what? All right, we're going to do something funky. So first things first, right? We have a find all username, right? You're going to student control, and we're going to go ahead and grab the users. And you're like, wait, what? I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Give me a second. Yeah, I know some of you don't trust me. Think I'm a little tricksy little hobbitses. Students, I'm going to say logins. And what it is it's going to get all users, right? We have the servlet request, so which is kind of funny. I don't want to do that. I want the servlet. I want the session. So we're going to fix that to be, oops, since we know that's not going to ever fail. So we're going to go ahead and say session, right? And then I actually want to go down here. Yes. I want to go ahead and get the user. Nope. There we go. Bing, bing, bing. So what I want to do here for the logins is I'm actually going to get all the logins. But first, I'm going to go ahead and I don't want a roster. I want users. And I want to get all the users. Right? So if the session attribute doesn't equal null, and session.attribute does not equal null, right? So we know that we're in fact a admin, right? I'm going to have an else, and then we're going to say unauthorized, of course. Did that wrong, but whatever. I think go all the way back up. There we go. And I'm going to return users. Bink, bink. All right, I'm going to return users. But I'm not going to return okay. I'm going to return unauthorized. Burr, burr, burr. All right. You're going to see what I'm going to do here in a minute. I'm just going to show you another thing we can do because it's fun to do that to you. No, I'm joking. Right. It's going to return a list of users. Otherwise, users is going to equal, I'm trying to think of the word, it's users database, users dot, nope, this dot users. It's going to get the user repository, and I want to get find all. And then I'm going to return the users to the correct place, right? So now I'm going to return the users, and I'm going to click OK. Now, why am I creating this endpoint? Quickly put, I'm just going to actually return all the users. And you're like, wait, why would you do that? Because when we go to add, when we go to edit, if you're the you want to be able to click select button that select all the actual users, because remember now we have a requirement that they have to be a certain thing. So that's going to be, it's pretty hard to verify that without failing it and so forth. So much easier to create a options list. But in order to do that, you actually need to go ahead and create the service and all those things. So we don't want student services, we want users. And then we're just going to public get all users. And we don't pass a user. Just going to get, remember, we're going to do this guy, and it's logins, and there's no user associated. We are going to send the credentials. That does still happen. But I just want you to verify, if you look at get all students, it should look the same, right? This HTTP get students, observable any, all those things still need to be there for the get all users. So why do we do this? Actually, very simple. So we did the student detail, but for the add student, right? Or the edit student, it really doesn't matter. We're actually going to create an additional field. Yay! If you're an admin. If you're not an admin, right, we have to do something else, right? But so we're going to do an if else situation. Actually, let me look at the edit page. Switching between major and GPA. Let's put it between major and GPA. So right here. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is div asterisk ng if equals admin. So we're going to do the same admin part, but we are going to do the else if. I think we do. I'm already brain farting on how we do the else. Where did we do it? I think we did it in student list component, right? We just got rid of that, right? There you go. Else block. This is what we did. And it goes right inside the, it goes right inside of it. Sorry. Come on, Ruth. It's edit student component. Nope. Edit student this guy. Else block. So inside the else block, we're going to do here, we're going to do the advisor selection, right? Obviously, I don't want to do anything first. I actually want to do it after the fact. So now we're going to come back here, and then we're going to do the other side of it again. I already forgot, so let's go ahead and go. It wasn't student detail, it was student component. Here we go. And I just used ng template. It's brain farting, but that's fine. You'll note that I actually provide you most of the code for most of the things you do here. as a result, really, really. So now we're not going to do advisor selection. What we're going to do instead is we're going to use a hidden type. And we can do this pretty quickly. I'm going to say hidden equals yes. And it's obviously not going to be name. It's going to be advisor. And then we're going to come back here and say student advisor. Yes. Yay. Right. Right. Okay. Here, we don't even have to do this, by the way. We can do this in the on submit area with very little what's called. In fact, I am going to do it there just so I can show it to you. But you could actually use a hidden field and then put the advisor name in there. I'm not going to, in fact, I'm just going to leave it like this. So what we're going to do is go Ruth. We're going to go advisor. Then we're going to go select name, blah, 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 blah. Select name advisor. I go student advisor. And then it gets wonky. So we're going to go to, I think we're an edit student. Are we an edit student? Yeah, we're an edit student. So we're going to go here and all this stuff, right? Right. So what we're going to do in addition to this is this dot, oops. Users. Right. We're going to create a user array. And then we create an admin, just like we did before. Boolean equals false. Okay. If admin, there you go, this dot user service. Well, we don't have a user service yet. That's okay. We'll have one in seconds. Private. Right. Bing. It did the import for me because I did it slow enough. If this dot admin, okay, so if this admin, I like to do is true, by the way. I did it earlier, but whatever. If this is true, we're going to actually go ahead and go get this user service. Get all users. Subscribe. Oh, I already forgot how to do the results. Yep. Oh, come on, Ruth. I want to close parentheses. But before we do that, we want to go data equals, and we're going to go this dot users equal data. What am I missing? Yep. I always forget it. So actually, yeah. I always forget that guy. I'm not overly worried about errors. This should not be a problem. If you're an admin, this should just work. But then we'll have users data. And then we're going to go back to the student list. Do you remember this guy? Here we go. We're going to go to back to edit student component. And we're going to go, we have the advisor, we have the select name. We're going to have this guy. And this is not going to work. So we want to do the option. No, we want to do a div here. Right. And inside of this is where we want to put the insider stuff. It's going to put a div here. And then we're going to go option. I already forgot how to do an option value. Let's just do it. Bing. Option, and I want to go user. Users. And the value, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go user.username. Don't want to do the selected. You want to get rid of that. Actually, we should be getting rid of it here. That's actually causing a problem, by the way. In the add, it doesn't matter, but in the edit, it matters. We should not have it there. And we have the username, and then we go ahead and put the username here. And then that's going to go ahead and add all the option values and select the one that is appropriate. Now we have to deal with errors. So let's go ahead. Can't find name user. Boom. That one's easy. Go to edit student component, and it says you can't find a name user. It's because you didn't import it. Bink. Go ahead and check it now. Still failed to compile because else block does not tip type on edit student components. Seamless components. Oh yeah, that's correct. Oh man, I forgot. I got rid of the else block. Right, we're not done, of course, but I did get rid of the else block, didn't I? And I didn't get rid of the actual else block part. See this admin? We just want this. Sorry. And that should solve that problem. Bang. And so are we not logged in as admin? I don't think we are. List of students, go back to list of students, go back to edit one. And did I not save that? Or am I logged in as Ruth? Let me just double check. Nope, I'm logged in as the right person. Right? Oh, come on. All right. And I'll click edit. And it's not finding. Well, actually, let's go back to this. It's user admin, it's fine, blah 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 blah. It's just not happy. We have the ngf admin, and it's not showing the advisor. Oh God, yeah, I can tell you why. Oh, this is a stupid problem. As you can see, it's checking admin. As you can see, it's totally checking admin, but there's a slight problem though. Yes, it's not actually doing anything to actually set it. And you go, wait, what? Right? This thing. Remember this? I didn't do that. Bink. I could have done actually, and I will. I'll just set this like this and replace this if statement with that guy. That's actually better code anyway, because this is not repetitive. There we go. All right. We have to make sure it compiles. And now we have blank advisors, because what, does it not return anything? It's not return anything. Why are we not returning? Oh, we get an error. 400. Why are we getting a 400? So, all right, this is a little dumber. I should not have done it this way. I was cheating, I guess, and I was trying to go too. I'm just really trying to go too fast. Get users dislogins. Students URL slash. Oh, you got to be no student logins. There you go. And it just takes a session. So, how is it a bad request? Session not get attribute doesn't equal none. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Did I not load? Did I change that while it was running? I think I did. So let's just run it again. This is a really simple error, unfortunately, but it is going to take me a minute to fix. Which is good, I guess, that we had an error, because otherwise this is really dumb. I'm going to go list of students, and I'm going to log out, by the way. It's just easier to start from this point. And wait for you to reload. I think we're reloaded. We are. So now we're going to go ahead and log back in. Come on. Never. There we go. Edit. And okay. So the advisor's in the wrong place. That is something we can do something about. Okay. As you can see, it's in the wrong place. The code is not working the way it should work, but at least it is getting, as you can see, it is getting Mike and Wraith. So let's figure out why it's not doing its thing. This guy. Div ng4 option value. Okay, so one thing you can do too, and I would just want to look at it to see what it's actually doing, is I can view source, and it's going to unfortunately show me this, which is not great. I can look at the elements. How can I look at the? There we go. Yeah, so I can't look at the source that's actually being created, but it's clearly not creating any options. Let's try to do a couple of things. Advisor. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. That's an immediate problem, and one that probably is causing the actual problem. Nope. Still not going in the right place. Oh, come on. Right? I should just save the password at this point. All right, so it's still not going in there, but at least it's not showing up inappropriately. Okay, so this is select name advisor. Okay, let me actually just look at the student list real quick. So I think I have the answer. I think I just put this here. Get rid of this, get rid of this, and okay. All right, so sort of, because it's repeating this guy. All right. All right, it's gonna just take a second. And voila. Stupid thing. I'm angry at it, right? But it is in fact working now. I just put these, so I put the ng4 in the wrong place, and it was just showing up 6 ways to Sunday incorrectly. But now it is in fact working. As an administrator, I can select either one. But what happens when I'm not an administrator, right? If I'm not an administrator, I have to do something like this. I'm not going to do add, by the way, because we just ran out of time just because I was screwing with that other thing. But if I'm not the admin, I'm gonna let it do its all thing, right? And I get the student.data, blah, 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 right? It's edit on submit. It has an on submit, which I can't seem to find. Here's on ng init. There's the lead student. Did I not put an on submit here? No, because it's student detail. Oh my God. All right. Sorry. So on submit, you can log the student, blah, 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 blah. But what I can do is I can do the check to see if this admin, right? If this admin, we don't do anything. But if it not, what I want to do is set it to be my user. By default, the username is the username. So we can actually get that pretty quickly by saying get item, right? So admin can't be set. So you can set this dot student dot advisor to be equal to session storage user.name. Was it at the end? Yeah, it's at the end. I'm guaranteed this not to be null because I know it's what you call it. And the second I do this fix it. So if it's not admin, administrator, right? Like he can select a user. If he's not selected a user, right? I can do a couple things. I can check to see if the advisor is not set and then do it, or I can just automatically do it. And that's what you see here. And that is the fix for that. And now the actual edit will actually work. One thing that's pretty hard to set with this is if I set the default selected, but it's actually not that big a deal because it'll ignore it if it's not selected, right? So I can always say selected. Because you always want it to be selected so that it actually shows up. So one will always be selected. It should never be blank. That's actually a very, very good plan. I left the selected off the major for the following reason. There's no selected because it's actually using student.major, so it's going to select the appropriate one. All right, that's it. We'll show you some goodies for the next class we have, which I believe is next week. We have another progress review this week. I think it's the 30th. And then next week, we have a wrap-up goodie session. There's a couple things. I think I might show you how to sort. We'll do some playing around with this, that, and the other thing. But mostly, I'm just going to leave it open for questions. So it'll probably be a fairly short class next class. And then we'll talk about, security and then wrap up. Thank you, guys.